Well, two cities are.
I hope it's a good thing. Life is
About an inch of creamer or some sort, and you can coffee cap, love you. No, coffee cap, not the cap. I know, right? It's not coffee.
Oh, the last of the turkey. All right. See? And apparently I've been hitting the eggnog because I'm using words like decorationing. Okay, so good morning. Hello, decorationing. We've been doing some decorationing around here, y'all. Look at that. So we'll be celebrating the holiday meal, and that's why we have these decorationings all around. That is happening today, following the service. Everybody is welcome, regardless of whether you brought a dish or not. There is plenty to share. So you will be getting your meal and then coming in here to sit with the decorationings. Okay, so everybody is welcome whether you brought a dish or not. Afterwards, there will be a membership vote, so please do everything you can to attend and appreciate the decorationings. We're looking to collect about 30 store-bought pies for the Dotson Chapel Christmas baskets. You can bring your pie and leave it on the kitchen counter during office hours, and you can see Sherry Gentry for more information. And I believe we need these by the 12th. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. We need these by the 12th. Okay. Now we are having a coffee house and Christmas party on Friday, December 20th. I hope you're coming. I went to see all your beautiful faces. If you want to participate, please see Dr. Judy, and I believe she has something to say. We're giving her a mic, y'all.
Yes, please sign up today. I know I have talked to several of you, but as I said to a couple of people this morning, we just want this to be a very fun, light-hearted, Christmas treaty kind of night that we can all be together and just enjoy the fellowship. But I do need to know today if you plan on participating so we can start putting this together. So see me after the service today and I'll put your name on the list.
I promise I won't rap.
Thank you.
Promise. What? Chris was pointing. Oh, yes. Was there a...
What time is the coffee house Christmas party?
7 to 9.
All right, thank you. Good insight.
Bring goodies.
Sorry, 7 to 9. Bring goodies. Yeah. All right, namely bourbon. I didn't say it. I just repeated it. It wasn't on here. Just saying. I'm only responsible for this. Okay, so Friday, December 13th, is the Nashville Chooses Peace Energy Wellness Center. That is at 7 p.m. There will be energy healing practitioners that are available for short sessions on a first-come, first-served basis. Please see Becky Osterita for more information. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Please come and come early. Okay, sign up. It is wonderful. On Sunday, December 15th, there will be a rainbow spiral gong meditation with Judy Bernard. Do we have Judy here? No? Well, that's also amazing. If you haven't done one of those, if you have no idea about sound healing, please come in. It is an incredible experience, wonderful. And she doesn't get mad at you when you get the wiggles. She didn't get mad at me when I got the wiggles. Sunday, December 22nd is the writers group at 12:30 in the Namaste Cafe. We were just talking about that. It's been well attended and it's been going very well. That's right? Okay, good. I hope you come in and get inspired. On Tuesday, December 24th is the Christmas Eve candle lighting service. The theme is A Light in the Darkness. And that is 7 p.m. I hope you will attend. It promises to be beautiful. Are you ready to sing?
Yes.
Let's sing again. More of my mouth noise. But this one will be prettier.
Sweet the words repeat.
Brunch Bunch at 11:30 on Wednesdays. The Gift to Change by Marianne Williamson is the focus. And the Wednesday evening classes are at 7 p.m. through December 18th, and they are studying Breathing Underwater by Richard Rohr, taking a new look at the 12 steps. This is facilitated by Reverend Denise Eggleston. Bea?
Good morning. Good morning. Are we peaceful? The scenes of serenity and peace depicted on Christmas cards can fade in the face of our more fast-paced lives. And yet, the call on this, the second Sunday of Advent, brings out peace on earth, goodwill to all. So our affirmation, I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. Together, I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. What would the world look like if we gave peace more of a chance? What kind of world could we create if we were committed to peace? Thinking peaceful thoughts, feeling peace, speaking words of peace, acting peacefully in our everyday lives. Unity author Eric Butterworth wrote, "Things may happen around you, and things may happen to you, but the only things that matter are the things that happen in you." So today we claim peace and live from its gift. This is not just a gift for ourselves, but for everyone. When peace is our natural state, we bless every person, every relationship, every interaction, no matter how small or fleeting, with our peaceful presence. So today, December 8th, 2019, I resolve to live with an open, forgiving heart, blessing family, friends, and even strangers with my peaceful presence. I allow peace to begin in my heart, grow in my mind, manifest through my emotions, and flow through my actions. I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. And so I light the candle of peace.
messenger of peace.
I realize that to be a messenger of peace, I have to first be peaceful within myself. And so I dropped those 18 inches from my head to my heart. And I claim peace in my heart. And I allow it to flow. And as I allow it to flow, it grows. Bigger and bigger. And so what does my world begin to look like when I think thoughts of peace? And I speak words of peace. And when I share actions of peace. As I allow those thoughts of peace to grow in my mind, they begin to manifest through my emotions. And in that way, they flow through every action that I take. I am claiming peace and living from its gifts in the silence. In the silence. I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. The gifts of not only more peace in my life, but the lives of all that I touch. Let each of us seek peace today.
Every time I pray.
Please welcome our special music guest, Carol Grace Anderson.
Now for something completely different. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all of life. There were plants, birds, and rocks and things. There were sand, hills, and rings. The first thing I met was a fly with bugs and the sky with no clouds. Oh, the heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. My skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been to the desert with a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. Now after 9 days, I let the horse run free, because the desert had turned to sea. After the bump of plants and things, there were sand and hills and rings. Oh, the ocean is a desert with its life underground and a perfect disguise above. Under the city's light and heart made of ground, but the humans will give no love. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. La 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to see why that song is so valuable. They promised.
We promised, we did. So several months ago, I had people that said, I don't really even understand metaphysical Bible and what all that's about, and I promised at different times in the year that I would give you some information. Well, when we get into this Christmas season, holiday season, you thought believes that the birth of the Christ child happens within each of us. But before it happens, we make several trips through the desert. You remember the Old Testament of wandering in the wilderness for 40 years? Well, I hate to tell you, but it's repeated times of 40 years. Does that make sense? It may not be 40 years, it may be a year. It might be a month. It might be 2 days. But as each of us are working towards manifesting this Christ life that's within us, stuff happens. And so, last week, you all had the amazing Sean, who was here to help you. And that Sunday was all about believing and having faith. I heard what he had to say, and he spoke to some of that. Because I even heard him say that if you're not committed, you need to leave. That's interesting, isn't it? Because if I'm not committed to me and my own journey, I'm just going to be wandering in the wilderness forever. Because the only way to get out is to know where I'm going. You know where you're going? No. And so there's part of the journey of Advent season. Do you understand that your journey is always about becoming the Christ? Always. Always. So I want to look at some of those words she's saying just for a moment. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. You know, when I've had another new baby born in my family, and she is a delight. And she is so excited about everything already. I mean, she's excited to see somebody. We passed her around 40 different times, and she just looks at our faces and takes it all in and tries to ooh and goo. Where did we lose that? When do we look at somebody's face and ooh and goo? Or would they think we were weird? Even the people that we're the most close to. Because I saw that. When do we get so excited about what's outside in our yards? Or the birds? When are we thrilled about the plants and the birds and the rocks and the things and sands and hills and a fly that has a buzz? Wow! You know, my young grandson will turn 1 on December the 12th. And he loves to go outside, and he sees a bird, he's like, ah, ah, ah. When's the last time you did that? Ah, ah, ah. Or do we just go, that's just a bird. It's just an old bird. Think about that. And after 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. And after 3 days in the desert sun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story is told of a river that flowed, and it made me sad to think it was dead. What happens after a short period of time on this planet with us? Carol Grace and I were talking about this song is much deeper than any of us remember when we were old hippies smoking doobies and singing it 100 years ago, okay? It's much deeper than that. It's like, have we realized that after a little while on this planet, we forget? Take it all for granted. All for granted. And then after 9 days, this person just let her horse go free because the desert had turned to sea. Do you understand the evolutionary process of this world we live in? When we first moved to this building, we had Michael Dowd to come and speak. Some of you remember that. And one of the things he said to us is that the seas will eventually become land and the lands will eventually become seas. That's just the evolution of the planet. Now, what does that mean for us? Does that make you go, oh? Will where I'm living be a sea someday? Anybody ever heard of crop rotation? That's the ultimate in crop rotation. You understand that? But the earth does it herself. Wow. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. That's our faith. But it felt good to be out of the rain, because in the desert, you can't remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. Does that make sense to you? Because what we do on this planet is all of a sudden we've lived here long enough that we forget the magical moments of it all. And we've separated ourselves from everybody else with our name and who we are and what we do and our families. And we are not connected. How does that happen? And quite magically, the Christmas season reminds us to not do that. So this is a scripture from the New Testament. This one is specifically for John, because John likes it when I read from the King James. So that's from the King James.
Thank you.
You're welcome. John, can you read it out loud from back there?
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Wow. Do you think that the people who wrote that really knew what that was talking about? Because some of you that are Unity students know that Charles Fillmore said this about faith. Faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with what? Do you know that you have the ability to shape substance? Moi? Little old me? Do you have that much faith? Wow. So what happens when the faith that I think I have and where I think I'm going doesn't work out the way I think it's supposed to? Hence, pause for a moment and watch this.
Who rang that bell? We did. Can't you read? Read what? The notice. What notice? It's on the door, as plain as the nose on my face. Oh. Please knock. Well, that's more like it. Now, state your business. We want to see the wizard. The wizard? But nobody can see the Great Oz. Nobody's ever seen the Great Oz. Even I've never seen him.
Well, then how do you know there is one?
Because I don't. Hey, you're wasting my time.
Oh, please, please, sir. I've got to see the wizard. The Good Witch of the North sent me.
Prove it. She's wearing the ruby slippers you gave her. Oh, so she is. Well, bust my buttons. Why didn't you say that in the first place? That's a horse of a different color. Come on in.
So, I know that everyone sitting here has had a moment when you thought what you believed was going to happen did not happen that way. And so do you just throw faith out the window at that point in time and go, nah, I don't believe. I don't believe there's any power greater than me that has anything going on here because my spreadsheets have not worked. And nothing that I planned looks like what I thought it was going to look like. How does faith help me when something unforeseen happens? Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. want you to push the pause button in your conversation, but I'm going to want you to pick up again right where you left off with this. Whether or not you believe in God, you know, the interesting thing about The Wizard of Oz is nobody's ever seen the wizard. Ever. How do you know that there's a higher power that's there to help you? How do you know? Some of you are very good 12-steppers, but how do you really know? How do you know? So continue your conversation with that piece.
I know. The interesting thing about faith is that you have to have something to believe in. Some people have more faith in the negative than the positive. And so you need to go inside and deal with that piece. Is it the negative that I'm believing in? Because sometimes we do. Because we have lots of evidence of that in the desert. Remember? But the deal is we all came from the light. We all were a part of that spark of divinity, and then we decided, for some unknown reason, to come here to these bodies. And we said, this is going to be fun. Yay! And I'm going to get to feel everything and experience everything. Everything. Yay! Until we don't go yay. And then we say, I don't believe in any of the things that I know to be true. Isn't that interesting? And if you know anything about the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy was told before you actually get to meet Oz, you have to get rid of the Wicked Witch, which represents negative thoughts. Have you thought that before you meet God, higher power, whatever you call it, you're going to have to get rid of negative thoughts to believe? Huh. So how does that work? Anybody had any flying monkeys come through their head recently? Yeah. 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 It's all fun and games till all of those negative thoughts start ripping through, and then I have to make a decision. Am I going to believe in that?
I going to believe in this? Do I believe in my higher power? Do I believe in God? Do I believe in whatever it is that I say I believe in that is all good all the time? Or do I believe in all this other stuff? Huh. It sounds simple when you're speaking words and you're talking to the intellect. But then when the fear comes up, I'm no longer peaceful. Because I'm believing in the fear and not the peace. Right? And then the even other section is that sometimes I'm the one that unleashed the swooping flying monkeys myself. Nobody else did it. I did it to myself. I'm going to give you a few for instances. Most of you know that my parents could not really live in the home by themselves very well. And I learned on Thanksgiving that Logan and his wife are getting ready to move out. Woo! Flying monkeys swooping through. Swooping, swooping, swooping. So I went and had a conversation with my parents. Because here I am getting ready to move to Savannah. Austin is living in Murfreesboro. We're all going, oh dear God, what's this mean? And I told my mother, I said, I will feel better if you get one of those life alert things around your neck. And she said, you mean that thing that people punch and say, I've fallen and I can't get up? I said, yes ma'am, that's exactly what I mean. And this morning, know that when service is over with and I have said goodbye to everyone, I will be leaving and going to my parents' house. I just got a text a few minutes ago that my dad just fell. And it's like, okay, and he's not even the one I was worried about. Flying monkeys. How do you deal with, oh dear God, oh dear God, oh dear God? Peace. Peace. Because sometimes I'm the one that unleashed the monkeys. When do you unleash the monkeys inside yourself? Have a conversation. So from the chatter, I'm assuming we all understand we do that. But we all do it. So if we know that we do that, why do we keep doing it? If I had the answer to that, I'd be making a whole lot more money and be in a whole different place than, you know what I mean? It's like, do we know why we do that? my personal belief is it's about whatever was mine to learn when I came in this lifetime. And we all have our own personal journey. And it could be about abundance, and that's yours. It could be about how to create more peace, and that would be yours. Now hear me, those are good things, but when those are my lessons to learn, I'm probably going to get less abundance and have to learn that. Or less peace and have to learn that. Or love, does that make sense? That's our desert experience of being in these human bodies and experiencing what it means to be totally human, but knowing that I'm divine and I have the perceiving power to be able to create substance anytime I choose. Conundrum? Because if that's the truth, then how is this other stuff the truth? And how do I remain peaceful in the middle of all of that? Before I can really know the truth, I have to look at it up close and personal. And sometimes I don't want to look at it. And so therefore I keep hanging out in the desert. And then I'll have a little bit of time where my feet will get into some water and it'll feel pretty good, and then all of a sudden I'll find myself in the desert again, because I'm not really wanting to look at the truth of, and here's where the rubber meets the road, and I am not trying to do metaphysical malpractice, but your life is about you and your consciousness. My life is about me and my consciousness. And so, therefore, that's not just me, but it's all the people I associate with. If I associate with Judy, then all the people she associates with are part of me, too. Does that make sense? Yes. And all of her family, and she gets to root in with all of my family and all of my friends. And then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And we all want to be nice. But there are some people probably in our circle that we need to go, you know, I love you, and you need to go way over there somewhere and sit. Because I can't be a part of your consciousness. And I don't want yours to be a part of mine. How do we say that nicely?
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Because that's the bottom line. So I'm going to tell you some things that I have heard over the last week and a half about goings on in here, with either truth or not truth. And I'm doing this with all the love that I can. Number one, I heard that Denise and Judy are leaving because they don't like the Unity Worldwide bylaws. I could care less about the Unity Worldwide bylaws. We've never followed them as a church. Ever. We've always turned ours in, and they've never gone, eh. I'm going to tell you this once. We are leaving because we want to retire and go live at the river. I've also heard that Denise and Judy have absconded with some of the money, and they're going to run away.
Oh, you haven't even told me that. Oh my God. That's it.
Well, I would ask that, what money are you talking about? The $12.50 or what? Number two, some of you know this, we are both only children. Her parents are dead and had a business. We inherited all of that. My parents, when they die, I have told them, we don't need anything else. Please leave it to my children. We don't want somebody else's money. So you can put that on the back burner and go, this has nothing to do with that. Can you hear that? Yeah. But what is it about people when things move in a direction they don't like, they've got to come up with some sort of a weird idea? Do you think that people can end a job and not hate all those people?
Yes.
Do you think it's okay to retire? How many of you have retired? But do you not think that it's okay for a minister to retire? Now there's that piece.
Yeah.
We're
Everybody
happy for
breathe.
you all, we're just scared of change sometimes.
I understand.
And that's the truth. That is the truth.
I understand. So continue to talk amongst yourselves. What is the truth that I don't want to look at right now at this moment? Talk.
And so, well, before I left the house, it was a rattlesnake that was, but it was a green snake. I don't know if it was a bird or a dog, but it had like little things that flashed on it, side of it. And it was biting a little boy under the table. And I said to the mother, there's a snake biting him. Was that before you decided to go to work? So you had the dream. You had the dream many days. Well, transformation. So, that's going on. I did. And change is just part of life.
You know, if there's anything that I have taught, it's about sitting together and having conversations. You can't run away from stuff you don't like. You can't. You can, but you end up in the desert again, on a horse with no name. You do. It's like, why are we afraid to sit and talk with somebody? You know, I had that experience recently because during the time when we did the 4 agreements, I spoke about someone that had used to come to this congregation that had called me and wanted to meet with me and talk. And I was scared to talk with her. Because every time I'd ever talked to her, it had not been pleasant. But I thought, you know, what the hell? I'm teaching this stuff. Maybe I should go talk to this person. And I sat and just let myself look at this person and let them tell me what it was that they were upset about. And you know what I figured out very quickly? I didn't have anything to be afraid of. None of us have anything to be afraid of. None of us. As long as we talk with each other. But when we don't talk and we run away, we have everything to be afraid of. And then what begins to happen is the people that are left think you don't like them.
That's right.
And they're like, where did they go? Well, then flying monkeys happen.
Yeah.
And we make up stories about what we think they're doing or not doing that might not be true at all. which is what me and this individual did at Starbucks for 2 hours one night, had a conversation and began to clear the air because I had never ever really known her and she had never ever really known who I was either. You know, people don't know me by sitting out there in the chairs. I can promise you don't really know me, and you might not want to. Because I have all my filters on up here. But one-to-one, I take them off. And when people ask me what I think, I'm like, do you really, really want to know? Isn't that right, Charlotte? Because if you really, really want to know, I'll let you know. But if you really, really don't want to know, because if you want to have an idea of this persona of what a minister is, and you don't want to let that go away, a minister is just the same as you. I just am silly enough to come up here and stand up here and talk and assume that you're going to listen to what I have to say. That's the only difference. And then I've had a lot of schooling, but so have a lot of you. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah.
So how do we get there? The way I get there with myself every night is I have to know when I lay my head on my pillow that I'm clean and clear. And if I'm not, I write in my journal, and that might be somebody I need to talk to the next day. Or it might be some kind of process I need to do inside of me. You know, quite interestingly, for the last 3 weeks on Wednesday night, we've been talking about making amends. Making amends is not what those idiots did out there to you. It's what you've done to other people. Wow. It has nothing to do with you forgiving anybody. It has to do with you going to somebody and saying, you know, I am so very sorry, but I had all of this stuff going on in my head about you, and I found out it's not true. Huh. That's so different. But we as spiritual communities, as other kinds of communities, and know that I could be giving this talk to the Chamber of Commerce. I could be giving it to Leadership Donaldson Hermitage. I could be giving it to Metro Schools. We all project the flying monkey stuff all the time, out of our mouths, and have no clue whether it's true or not. But we just do it. I can't have peace and do that. Somebody just sucked all the air out of the room. I can't. I can't have parking lot conversations. I can't do that and have peace. I can't run away and have peace. I have to come at it face to face. That's from the King James also, John. Read it for us.
Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you.
Who was that said that, John?
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus said it when he was getting ready to leave his disciples, and they were going, ah! No! And he said, I've taught you, and taught you, and taught you how to have peace. I'm leaving that with you. That's all you have to do. Peace is a state of mutual harmony between people or groups, especially in personal relations. Untroubled tranquility, content. Woo! Who wants that? I only had 2 or 3 people clapping. The rest of you are like, no, I don't want any of that. None of that. What I know in just a little while that you all are going to eat a lunch and you're going to come in here and have some conversation. Some of you may know exactly what you want, and some of you may be still in the desert on a horse with no name, dragging the horse in here, pooping all over the floor. And all of that's okay, as long as you keep talking. But when you stop talking and letting your horse keep pooping, it is not pleasant. Can you hear me? Peace, it does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise. Well, shoot. Trouble or hard work. Shoot. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be what? Whoa. Which means a bunch of you may need to go into the prayer room and pray before you come to this meeting. If you're all in a wad. Because hear me, there's nothing to be in a wad about. Nothing can happen without a vote of everybody. There's not somebody out there that's going to do something to you. You vote to move forward together. I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. Say that with me. I am claiming peace and living from its gifts. Namaste.
You wove it all together beautifully. Beautiful. So good to see all you folks again. It's been a while. We've been in and out of town. One of us is still way out of town. Yeah. But, so I just need one chord. The tree is lit up, all dazzling and bright. The stockings are all hung with care. The beautiful gifts wrapped under the tree. But there's something that's missing there. Because love is in your heart. Oh, Christmas is in your heart. So let it shine wherever you are, because Christmas is in your heart. Love is in your heart. Oh yeah, love is in your heart. You can give it away wherever you are, because Christmas is in your heart. Oh now, peace is in your heart. Yeah, peace is in your heart. You can share it all year from wherever you are, because peace is in your heart. Oh, Christmas is in your heart. Yeah, Christmas is in your heart. Oh, let it shine wherever you are, because Christmas is in your heart. Oh, now love is in your heart. Christmas peace is in your heart. Keep it there all year, people. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, good deal.
Thank you so much, Carol Grace. Can we have another round of applause for our wonderful special music? Awesome! So beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Would you please join us and put your tithes to your heart and your gifts, and join us in our abundance affirmation. I live in the midst of infinite abundance. I give freely and fearlessly to life, and life gives back to me. Please join us in the sacred walk of abundance. This way, please.
first bless these tithes and offerings, which have been given from that space of love and joy and peace. And then we want to move our attention to the meal that we're getting ready to share with each other. And may we come together in a sense of community, knowing that we are sharing love and joy and peace with each other through eating together and through discussing the forward motion and future of Unity of Music City and what that looks like. And reminding myself and ourselves that we have nothing to fear when we remain in that space of peace and love and joy. And so it is. Amen. Amen.
Can we please also send love and healing to Reverend Denise Estate?
Yes.
You're welcome. Please join us for the family meal and vote after the service. Everyone is welcome, whether or not you brought a dish. Please grab some food and come back into the sanctuary to join us and enjoy the beautiful decorationing. Please join me in the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are,